I'm very happy to be here this morning. The speaker who went ahead of me was a scientist. My background is chemistry, and I could largely relate when I saw the N's and the S's and all that about soil science. My short assignment this morning is nothing to do with science or chemistry or what I actually learned in school, but it's something to do largely with my passion in agro enterprises. I'm an entrepreneur. I run a business called Adult Life, which is a business that does two things. I am actually tempted to walk around because naturally I'm a teacher. I teach people how to do things. I teach in the farm, and I also teach value addition. So it's a bit new to me to be confined to one place where I have to speak. I like to interact with my students, but I'll try to be very stationary here so that you can all hear me. So it's a bright morning, and today I want to talk about women and youth in agro enterprises, leading sustainable solutions. What have women been able to do? Have we been able to highlight these solutions? Have we been able to talk about them? Have we been able to scale them? Are they money making, or we're just speaking about agroecology and it's not translating to an income? Because many times you will learn how to do things, you will learn how to farm without pesticides, you will learn how to grow healthy, nutritious, and safe food, but does it translate to farmer incomes? Does it give money to the pockets of the farmer? And this is a question farmers will always ask. And that is my assignment this morning. I'll keep it very short so you can go to the next slide. There will not be any scientific studies in this presentation. I hope you will enjoy it. So women-led agro-enterprises are reshaping the future of agriculture. Have we given our women a chance to do what they do best? And are we addressing climate change? Are we addressing food security by helping our women embrace agro-enterprises? Or are we stuck in the traditional way of thinking of women as farm workers? Have we moved our women from production to other stations, to other links in the value chain? Because I've always argued agriculture does not end at the farm. It's a whole value chain. It's very long. And so you can keep going with the slides. And what role do women play in agriculture? We've always talked about land, and every time I've gone to this kind of symposiums and panelists speaking, we are always speaking about the challenges, the barriers women are experiencing in agroecology. And one of them is always land. And I've always asked myself, are we ever going to move past women not having land to farm, past women not having the power to make decisions in the farm? Are we ever going to move past that and find other solutions? Are our women also thinking about what they can do beyond the fact that we own about 1% of land in Africa, and that's all we can make decisions on? The rest of the land is owned by other parties who have the power to make decisions on them. But then, as I've already said, agriculture does not stop in the farm where you make the decisions. Can we then ask our women to contribute across the entire value chain? Where else can women come in? Can women come in as value addition experts? I think when my bio was read, you under a value addition champion. Actually, my chairman was here before. Did I say I'm a farmer? I'm a Gong organic farmer. So my chairman spoke before me, and I'm honored to be speaking while he's listening. And so I lead the farmers in value addition. I am so passionate about value addition because food waste is a big problem in the country. And women are champions in this space. Women are leading the way. They're the ones you send to chop and dry the vegetables, and they're doing very well. Are we highlighting their stories? Are we talking about their contributions? Are we empowering them to talk about it? Food waste is about 40% of all our production. So every time you move around a market, you find a mountain. Have anyone found a mountain, or I just go to the wrong market? Have you found mountains of food? I know you can relate. And so these mountains, when I look at them, what I see is Kenya's land has been wasted. The doctor's just spoken about if you overcultivate, you deplete the land. So every time you see that mountain, it is a representation of land depletion. It is a representation of water wasted. And we are talking about water scarcity. We've already said Kenya is about 60% semi-arid. And so every time you see that mountain, it's telling you the little water we have is not ending in someone's plate or someone's pocket. It's ending in a mountain that's going to waste. And then the climate change experts will come and tell us food waste contributes to 8% of all the emissions. So do we have a solution? And that's why I strongly believe, the first speaker said she strongly believes agroecology is a bold solution to climate change and food security. I strongly believe value addition is a bold solution to climate change and food security. Because I've already demonstrated, if we can stop wasting the 40%, we can save food, we can save money. And research shows that if we can stop the food waste, we can feed 150 million more people. So those are less people going to bed hungry. And so my presentation this morning is not to overemphasize on the barriers that women and youth have, but to talk about the self-imposed barriers that women and youth have put for themselves and not recognize that there's so much more we can do in this space and cause a change. And these internal barriers, I found some of them discussed in a book I love to read called How Women Rise. You can read it at your own time. Women are reluctant to claim their achievement. Women are perfectionists, and even young people. You work so hard, but you do not want to rise up and say, I achieved this, I innovated this. Someone else can use it to advance their enterprise. Someone else can turn it to a business. Someone talked about commercializing some innovation. But when you don't acknowledge your achievement, then you are not able to commercialize it because you are not proud of it. When you are a perfectionist, you wait too long before you can commercialize whatever you're doing. We overvalue expertise. We work so hard in school, we get so good papers, but when we reach the field, we do not want to commercialize. We so much focus on expertise, we do not want to translate it and commercialize it. We spend too much time staying in the comfort zone. Yes, I have solved my problem, I can feed my family, full stop. You do not think beyond solving your own problems. You stay in your comfort zone. Women and youth sometimes avoid politics. We've talked about policies. Unless we know what is in it for us, we will never be included. And I always keep saying and telling policymakers, there is nothing for us without us. Involve us. Call us to those meetings. Call us to public participation. I don't know whether farmers attend public participation. I do. Attend them. Give your voice. Be heard. Do not always prioritize others. Prioritize yourself as a farmer. Speak for yourself. Raise your voice. We can keep moving. Value addition, I've already said, is a food security and climate resilience solution. It is a path to resilience. If we stop wasting our food, and organically and agroecologically farmed food is hard work. At Ngong Organic Farmers, what we do is we translate everything that comes to the market and is not sold. We take it to the production center and we convert it to value-added food. We are creating a no-waste kingdom. And that's what adult life is about. We train women and youth in urban gardening, and when they do that, we value add what they produce so that they have a zero waste kingdom. Anything that comes to waste, there's composting, and there's also vermiculture. So what this does is it increases the household incomes of these farmers. It reduces food waste, which I've already talked about, and improves our soil security. We can keep moving. Now, we must leverage on technology and training to improve the role of women and to also acknowledge and give more power to women to take charge of their enterprises. We've always talked about, oh, women do not own bank accounts. Now, mobile banking has revolutionized that. Everybody can do mobile banking, can do mobile borrowing. We will speak about that in another place. There's then exploring digital markets. My business is purely online. I've run it for 5 years. I've made money out of it, and it can be done. And I always stand up and say, it is possible when you believe it is possible. Then we must train and use technology. I use YouTube to train urban gardening and value addition. That's also leveraging on tech as a woman to be heard in the agroecological space. Don't let all the people who have the chemicals be the only ones curating YouTube channels and speaking. We must also be part of the discussion. We must rise up and raise our voices. We must be heard. And that's another use of technology. We must overcome the barrier of overvaluing expertise. Do not spend too much time adding value to just yourself. Network. Leverage on visibility. By the way, no matter how good you are, if nobody knows that you're good, it is just for you. So please, as you become an expert, improve on your visibility, improve on your scaling. Keep moving. We must change the narrative. Let's not look at women as always the people on the victim side of the story. Women are champions, and women are changing the narratives. The front photo of every agriculture journal should not always be a peasant farmer. Women are confident, educated, and change-making agents in this space. So in sustainable agriculture, we must change. And that's the only way actually to encourage our youth, because that's a question I'm always asked. How do we encourage our youth to take up agriculture? It's only by demonstrating that agriculture is viable and profitable. And unless we do that, we will keep the discussion of encouraging youth to come to agriculture. Youth want to see, is it working? Is it a viable career? We must change the narrative. The next slide, please. And this is towards my finalizing of this presentation. Mine is to call all of us in this hall and beyond who are seeing us to action. We must build an inclusive and resilient future together by supporting women. Support policies that have equitable access to resources, training, and capital. Let women be able to access these resources equitably, even with their counterparts. Let's also invest in infrastructure. I don't know whether your government has invested in some value addition centers. Mine has not. We're just doing this in the private sense. But I'm calling to not only the government, but also our partners to invest. While we invest in the farming space, let's also invest in infrastructure for value addition so that we don't waste all the effort we put by the food going to waste. Then we must inspire our future generations through telling success stories. And this is something I'm very, very passionate about, that you can change your life just by practicing agriculture. We need to tell these stories more. We cannot wait for someone to tell these stories on our behalf. We must be the ones rising up and says, this is viable, this can be scaled, this is how it works. And then that way we will be able to bring more youth on board. We can keep moving. In conclusion, these are the only 3 things you need to do. Acknowledge the women's role in agribusiness. Acknowledge your own role in agribusiness. Talk about it. Own it, believe it. Nobody's gonna do that for you. Cheer. Let's invest in women and celebrate their achievements for a sustainable future. Let's tell more stories of women who have succeeded as opposed to more stories of women who are experiencing challenges. This way, I believe when you talk about the positives, you are able to solve more of the negatives. So let's talk about these success stories. Let's talk about these achievements. Finally, let's network. Find someone who is doing something you love. Find out how they did it. I look forward to working with all of us to build a resilient future. Thank you.